Well, let's cross live to Paris now and talk to Pierre, a professor of political science at Paris West University. Professor Guerlain, many thanks for speaking to us here on RT. As we've been talking after a heated debate, no real consensus. The French president insisting that there'll be no two-speed Europe, yet EU members can't agree as a whole, and 17 Eurozone members and a few others are working now on their own financial treaty. Are we really seeing a fatal split emerge here?
Well, it's clear that there's no agreement for 27 countries, which is not surprising. Even among the 17 countries in the Eurozone, there are very different situations between Greece on the one hand and Germany on the other. So it is a major split, no doubt about it. And Britain is opposed for very specific reasons. It's opposed because it doesn't want a Tobin tax on financial transactions, but from a legal point of view, of course, if one member of the 27 members of Europe is against changing the treaties, then it's difficult to change the treaties. So it is a major split in Europe.
And do you believe that tighter fiscal regulations for the Eurozone will actually be the sharp shock tactic needed to tackle their debt and help prevent it in future?
Well, actually, if I can reformulate the question slightly, last week, the former Chancellor of Germany, Helmut Schmidt, gave a very important speech at the Social Democratic Party conference, in which he mentioned Brüning's policies in the 1930s. Or you could also mention Roosevelt's policies in 1938, when austerity led to a reduction of the debt. No problem about this, but it led to a huge depression. So maybe tackling the debt is one issue, but creating the conditions for boosting the economy of Europe is a more important question. If the debt is tackled, but then you have a huge recession, what's the good of tackling the debt?
Let's talk now about Britain not coming on board at this stage. It won't accept changes that could affect London's financial industry and is ready, as it's shown to be, to block the intra-EU group plan. Might the UK regret not getting involved at this stage?
Well, it really depends how things turn out. But what European leaders are doing now, and mostly they're adopting a plan which is mostly a plan that Germany wants, and then France rallied to the German position. It's not likely to work to boost the economy. So from this point of view, since Britain still has an independent central bank, being out of the euro might be a good thing for it. But Britain has other problems. I don't know if Britain will regret it, because things are not maybe likely to work for the Eurozone if discipline is the only discourse that is put forward and not boosting the economy.
And do you think that keeping a closer eye on euro countries through tighter fiscal policy, will that be enough to actually save this currency from going under?
Well, right from the start, there was a problem because very different countries with different economies adopted a common currency and one central bank, and therefore various countries cannot devalue. So the euro is under incredible stress. Quite frankly, I can't say whether the euro will be saved or not, but there must be a mechanism to help the poorer countries face their difficulties. Otherwise, the contradictions will lead to a kind of explosion of the euro and maybe of Europe itself.
Well, do you think that some of the new mechanisms being proposed now will work? New debt rules to promise never to do it again. I mean, they are one thing, but that's not actually helping to pay off the debt itself. What do they need, do you think, to do today to get the money flowing?
Well, actually, the European Central Bank, which is basically now helping banks get liquidities, is helping banks, but it's not helping countries. So it's not just a matter of dealing with the debt. They could be a solution for the debt, although the central bank has to be involved directly, the way it is in other countries. But if we go on asking the same questions as were asked by people in the 1930s, fiscal austerity programs and so on, and not dealing with the economy itself, the debt would be a minor problem. So the key question is not just paying off the debt, but what to do with the economy. And it's so surprising that there is the expertise out there to deal with this problem, but European leaders seem intent on repeating the 1930s mistakes made by Brüning in Germany or Roosevelt in 1937, focusing on the debt and worsening the economic situation. So money can flow to the banks, but it should really be invested in common Keynesian programs within Europe. Otherwise, there's no solution.
Okay, Pierre Guerlain, Professor of Political Science at Paris West University. Many thanks for those thoughts.
Thank you.